Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to week 11 office hours. Everything should be up and running smoothly now. The big thing this week, and the big thing to mention, of course, is that on tonight at 11:55 p.m., your tactics and implementation section is due. So please try and get that in on time, and we'll go from there for sure. Um, had a couple of comments that I just want to reiterate real quick. That the point is not to basically talk about every single possible tactic you could use, but rather to choose a few key tactics that really kind of support the marketing objectives that you laid out in the previous section. So that's really what I would love to see you spending a lot of your time on, rather than trying to like say, for instance, oh, we're not going to use podcasts because they're not useful. Don't do that. Just skip it and just talk about the ones that you really need to talk about, right? Um, so that's the big thing, and hopefully that will get done tonight. Some people have asked a question a couple of times. I don't think I've talked about it directly here about the 20 keywords for search engine optimization and 20 keywords for search advertising. And again, like I said at the top, right, if you're not going to do one of those, you don't have to come up with those 20 keywords. But if you are going to do them, and if you're going to do both, then those lists should be at least partially overlapping, obviously, because some of the words would be the same for both. But there might be different reasons why you'd want to emphasize one page over another, right? One set of keywords for one particular service over another, right? So, for instance, one of the firms is the NC State women's basketball team, right? And for search engine advertising, you might want to bid on something like half price NC State women's basketball tickets, or as an example, right? Um, it's not clear that you would actually want to optimize an entire web page around that phrase, right? Alternatively, you might think that NC State women's team statistics is an example of a page that you might have a page optimizer around, right? Like you might use that keyword phrase and optimize the entire page around it, but you probably wouldn't bid for those words, right? So just kind of think a little bit through it. Try and justify the use of the terms you did. I don't feel like you have to justify every single word, but maybe group them together and justify them together. Again, um, hopefully, like I said, just constant. I'd rather see a quality discussion about the few tactics we're going to use, rather than a quantity discussion about all the tactics, right? Also, you should see some new videos on user experience and web development that have been up in your feed since middle of last week, and along with some tutorials about how to create content for the web and some tools that can help you design content for the web, namely Wix, Glyphy, and Balsamic, right? And I'm gonna try and keep putting out tutorials like that. Probably not 3 a week like that one, but maybe once every week or so about the different tools that you can use for the group project. This week I'm going to be adding new videos. In fact, I'm just finishing up the slides on putting the finishing touches on slides on content marketing and writing for the web, and maybe some new tutorial videos as well, as I discussed. It has also recently come to my attention, actually in the offline class, that the syllabus says that the class ends on April 19th, but then in fact the class ends on April 26th. And so what that means is that we will still have final presentations from April 17th to April 26th around then. However, it's the nice thing is that it means that the full group project isn't due with all the other aspects of it until April 26th. So even though the presentation might be earlier, you can actually turn in the final document and the final creative examples on the 26th as opposed to the 19th. I will be revising that syllabus schedule again and re-uploading a new version shortly to reflect this change. So those are the major things I wanted to talk about today. And there will be a new reading up today. That's the other thing, right? So, and then just to recapitulate, right? The digital marketing tactics and implementation is due tonight. Try and emphasize a small number of marketing tactics that really support your objectives rather than supporting a large number of tactics, right? And just briefly discussing each one. You have the new videos to watch on user experience web development with new content on content marketing and writing for the web coming up later this week. Also, the big notice is that the deadline for the final all the final materials has been extended to April 26th because that's actually the last day of classes. And I'll be sending out a revised syllabus shortly for that. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know. I think I've answered pretty much everything that came in about the tactics and implementation. But if anything else comes up or if you have any more questions, let me know soon, right? Since they're due tonight. Okay? Take care, everyone. Short video this week, short office hours.